Hi, Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your Mercury entering into Taurus reading for you. Now, I asked if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out tremendously. It gets this channel seen by the YouTube algorithm and out to more people. So thank you so very much for doing so. So let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Ooh, okay. There we go. Love it be a surprise. Angels and spirit guides, show us clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Okay, perfect. All right, we are crowned here by the Page of Pentacles reversed, meaning that this time, as Mercury enters into Taurus, we're going to be learning a lot and we're going to be unwilling students about it. It doesn't mean that it's going to be terrible. It's just like, I don't want to learn anymore. I'm an adult. I know things. That's going to be our mentality here. And yet we're going to find that so much knowledge, so much information does come forward to us during this time. And it is going to be our choice whether we take it or not. And taking that information will kind of level us up in a way that we weren't expecting. Not taking that information is also going to be just fine. It's going to determine the path that we move down. This is Taurus time period, right? We're in Taurus time period up until the 20th of May, and Mercury moving into Taurus. Mercury rules us, Gemini. So as Mercury rules into Taurus, we're going to find that we want things to be more stabilized. We want things to be more kind of focused. We're focused on the quality of things, not the quantity of things. That is also going to be important. So looking at that here with the Page of Pentacles, that's going to be a big shift. It moves us then to the Three of Cups. This is healing, this is connection, this is love, this is a sense of people on our side. There's a sense of beauty that moves us forward, and it brings us then to, oh my gosh, if I can pick up the card, there we go, to the Queen of Swords, and that's us. The Queen of Swords is us. We have a way with words, just embracing that. Now, do note the Queen of Swords, and we can see it within ourselves, can be on our bad days. We can be very sharp-tongued. We can get right to the heart of things without really remembering that there's a heart to things. So that's always important to be aware of. The Queen of Swords is our voice. The Queen of Swords is our, knowing what we desire. And as Mercury, the ruler of communication and travel, enters into Taurus, we really find this healthy way to assert our desires, to say, this is what I want for my life, this is where I need to be. And it's so interesting because Gemini, we are born with a gift for gab, right? We are fantastic at words and creation and stories and ideas, but we find the words to be the hardest things at times. Getting it just right. We focus too much on getting it just right instead of saying, but this is what I desire. This is what's right for me. And if we focus too much on like, it has to be just so, we're going to miss the bigger plot of things. We need to be able to have our personal space during this time as Mercury enters into Taurus. We need to be able to see ourselves and what we desire and what we want. And that moves us to the King of Wands. This is fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This is our fire and our passion and our determination and our focus coming forward. We are embracing ourselves as kings. We are embracing ourselves as what we deeply desire. The king and the queen come forward. There's no higher, right, in the court than the king and the queen. And so here we have our words, we have our desires, we have our fire, we have our passion, we have the main weapon, right, of the sword come forward, which is what we're represented by in the minor arcana. But then we have the lesser weapon of the wand. Now, it can be the magic wand, right? But it can also be the staff, which is what you learned with before you were given the sword, what you had to practice with. It brings us then to the High Priestess. This is going to be a time when the veil is lifted from our eyes. We're looking at things, and there's a power with the color red here. So that's beautiful. Red and blue coming together. Red for the root chakra, blue for the, what chakra is it? blue for the throat chakra. I knew that and completely forgot. So there's going to be a power here that moves us forward in our voice, in what we desire, in what we want. We're setting sail, but the veil is going to be lifted. We're going to be looking at things so differently than we had seen them before. And it can be overwhelming to us. That's where the student energy comes in during this time. It's like, well, I don't know if I want to learn all of this. And a lot of times Spirit says, I didn't ask you if you wanted to learn the lessons. We already mapped this out before you came down here. The Two of Swords. Oh, I love this card of the Two of Swords. It's really quite beautiful, right? With the birds and the hat. The top hat being a birdhouse. But what we're going to see with the Two of Swords is that a path opens up that we hadn't imagined could. That we're starting to see things moving in a way that we didn't think it was possible. We didn't think this was possible for us. And the Two of Swords is saying, get out of your own way, get out of your own stubbornness. We always thought it was path A or path B. It had to look just like this. It had to be just like this. And as a world, we're starting to rebel against that, right? But we're also starting to say, what is it that I want? Not bogging us down with, oh, well, then it has to be just like this or just like this. It's like, well, why can't I be free? Why can't I be free and expressive and see me and open the doors up? Why can't I just move forward? And it brings us then to the Lovers reversed, and that's us. We are represented by the Lovers in the major arcana, right? And here we have a tendency of getting in our own way. We can go after lust instead of what we love, instant gratification instead of deeper meaning, deeper passion, deeper desire. And we can get in our own way during this time. And this is a time where we're looking at things and saying, let's focus on clear boundaries in our relationship. Let's focus on how we open up the doors for ourselves and move forward in stabilized success and prosperity, and not blow things out of proportion. We can blow things out of proportion with the Lovers reversed. We can just feel, overwhelmed. We can want to go after the lust of it all, the passion of it all, the fire of it all. And if it doesn't have that fire and the excitement all the time, which is actually exhausting, we're going to get bored and be like, well, let's try something else. Let's see something else. Let's look at different things. So just be mindful about this during this time, Gemini, that we can have kind of a little bit of a tendency of self-sabotage right here. So let's see what Spirit has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. And if you're interested in entering to receive a free reading, put a flower, there we go, in the comment box below. A person will be chosen at random and announced on Sunday. So good luck to everyone. That video comes up whenever on Sunday. So hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when it is uploaded. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Here we have meditate reverse. This is not going to be a time where we want to meditate. Actually, we're going to be looking at meditation and thinking, oh my gosh, do I have to? Do I have to? And Spirit is saying you don't want to, but yeah, it's going to be really important to meditate, to slow things down, to connect with ourselves, to see what it is that we desire, and to, look at the world of what we want. And that's going to be really important. And yet we're not going to want to make time for that at all. So do be mindful about this during this time. It moves us then to our chakra energy. Angels and spirit guides, show them clearly. Here we have grounding. This is the Earth Star chakra Earth Star chakra located 6 inches below our feet. We need to be grounded. We need to stabilize ourselves. And we don't have a blockage here, but it's saying, remember your roots. Remember how to take care of you. Remember what you need as an individual, as a human being, Gemini. And it doesn't matter if people say, oh, well, that's silly. Oh, that doesn't make any sense. I don't need to do that. Well, you do. So plant you in the right situation, feed you with the correct food. Like, you don't feed a cactus with rose food, and you don't feed a rose with cactus food. It's just not done. So here, take care of yourself, see yourself, connect with you. Our energy to be mindful of during this time. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. This is the 6 of Swords. We're kind of tired of being unsure as we move forward. We really want to go forward with gumption and determination and like fire and focus. Like, I got this. Don't worry about it. And we can say that during this time. I got this. Don't worry about it. But we don't always have it. And we might need to slow things down a little bit here, Gemini. And it's kind of like embracing things that are slow, that are meditative, that connect us with our body, with our soul, with ourself. That's going to be important. And yet, again, we're not going to want to do it. The Six of Swords reverse is like speed it up, get it going, push the limits, push the barriers. So understanding that that's going to be like what we want to do during this time, but yet not what's not good for us. Just be aware. With the Page of Pentacles, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Again, we're going to be students we're not going to want to be. We also are going to have to look at an inner conflict that we have that stems from childhood, connecting with our inner child, to money, to success, to prosperity, to wealth, to what we value as much as money. There is a sense here of all this beautifulness that is coming our way. We're like, no, I don't get to have it. Why? I don't know. Maybe we didn't grow up with getting to have nice things that other people did. Maybe we got told by somebody, you'll never be smart enough, pretty enough, this enough, that enough, and it's stuck. But what we do know is that with the Lover's reverse, we have a tendency to get in our own way and trip ourselves up. So being aware of that is going to be important, because here, what I love, this card is so beautiful. It is. So here, he has the hand of a bird, right? But she has the hair is the wing of the bird. And so there's flight within us. There's a need to soar, a need to expand, which I think is one of the most beautiful ways to describe Gemini. We need to explore, we need to expand, we need to dive deeper, we need to ask the questions. But people always say about Geminis, that we don't have to follow through, right? We can get super, super curious, but it's like a jack of all trade, master of none type of energy. But they don't understand that a Gemini is done when we're done. And I know that sounds so like, okay, that's profound, not like being very sarcastic, but it is profound. It's like we know when something doesn't fit. And it can be hard when we feel like we're searching our whole life for the exact fit. But we also need to search our whole life not to judge ourselves and not to kind of like seek out a dopamine high instead of seeking out a steady, beautiful flow of like love and connection, and just something a little bit quieter, a little bit gentler, but a heck of a lot more lasting. Doesn't mean it doesn't come with its dopamine highs. It just means that it's not those big romantic scenes that we see on TV, because we do eat that up. Like we eat it up with a spoon. It's like, oh my gosh, that's what I want. But it's not what lasts for us. It gets boring after a little bit. So do be aware of that. With the Three of Cups, it's connecting with those who truly love us. It's seeing the energies around us that are beautiful, that are loving, that are caring, that are kind. And it's saying, these are the people who raise their glass to me. These are the people who see me. These are the people who I see and I understand. And it's moving in that energy. It's not showy, it's not fleshy, it's not, anything like that. But it's saying, I get it. Like, I get it and I'm seeing. And it moves us to stepping into the Queen of Swords, stepping into us, stepping into our sacred feminine energy, stepping into what we desire, stepping into who we are. And the Queen of Swords is always misunderstood, which I think is apropos, right? Gemini energy is misunderstood, but it's also air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So if we have this energy in our chart, in our life, we share this bond of not always being understood. Because the Queen of Swords is the most masculine of all the queens, as is the King of Wands. Well, here it's represented by a lady, but the Queen of Wands is the second most masculine of the queens. The masculine queens are the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Wands. Obviously for the imagery that it invokes, right? You could say, and the cups and the pentacles for the imagery that they invoke. But the Queen of Wands is a person where we're talking about the voice. We're talking about assertion of voice and of power. And that can be something that's very off-putting to people. And so here, it's asserting our voice, it's asserting our power, it's seeing ourselves and being unapologetic. And that is going to be very important for us. It is saying, this is what I want, and stop. It's, we're starting to look at our boundaries during this time. As Mercury enters into Taurus, we're looking at our boundaries. We're empowered by an expression of fulfilling our needs, not fulfilling everybody else's needs. And that's going to be a fire and a passion that moves us, that guides us, that opens the door to us. And with the King of Wands, it's using that knowledge that we are embracing, right? We have trained, we have worked so hard. Nobody picks up a sword and is good at using a sword. Actually, it's quite dangerous. That's why you practice with a staff, a wand first. And so here, with the Queen of Swords, we're looking at everything that we've been trained for, everything that we've gone through in our lives, how it has honed us, how it has, made us see things in ourselves differently, how it has opened up doors and closed doors to us. And then the King of Wands is our fire and our passion. Be mindful of our tempers. Gemini, whenever the wands come up, definitely when they're reversed, but be mindful of our tempers because they can get the best of us during this time. We could be a little bit more hot-headed. We kind of like to be a little bit more logically aloof. That's also, that aloofness is what people have some sort of problem with at times. But with the King of Wands, it's embracing our fire, it's embracing our passion. It's also knowing that we want fire and passion in our lives, in a romantic relationship, but also in the work that we do, and the way that we express ourselves. And if it's not in our job, then it's in our hobby. It has to be, in that fire that moves us forward in our lives, because the veil is being lifted from our eyes. We're very focused as Mercury enters into Taurus. We're focused on building our business, or our work, or our deeper understanding of ourselves. We're focused on opening up the door to us, and it brings us to the high priestess of, this is what I desire. Whatever we want from our life, the veil is being lifted from our eyes and saying, okay, I'm helping you move forward. Okay, I'm answering these questions. Okay, the door, is opening, and you're seeing things so much more honestly, so much more openly than you have before. And as we embrace this energy, and as we see this within ourselves, we're seeing certain ways that we were held back, certain things that we had, misstepped over as we move forward in our lives. And we're seeing them with kindness and with grace. And we don't have to be perfect all the time. And everybody makes mistakes. And it brings us to the Two of Swords. It brings us to this path where the paths are open to us. But it doesn't have to be you go A, you go B. It is going to be some of the, the exquisite, the whimsical, the miraculous coming forward during this time. As we look at our path, as we look at the way forward, we want to chase the lust. We want to chase kind of the dopamine high, the lust of it all, the passion of it all, the fire of it all. We would love this to be a really intense, romantic, high note time. But if we do that, we get in our own way. We get in our own way of the blessings that are coming. We get in our own way of what it is that we desire. We trip ourselves up because we don't see the duality of ourselves. Because Gemini, as much as we love the excitement of it, we also want the stability and the security of it. We want the grounding. We want the tree to build our nest in. And that will be in a partnership, right? That will be in a partnership, like a business partnership, a romantic partnership. That will be in life in general. That we need to look at our whimsical nature, which will serve us very, very well, but also stabilizing that. That's the sacred feminine, sacred masculine of us coming together, and not just chasing the adventure of it, but chasing the beauty of it too, the foundation of it. Yeah. So just be mindful, Gemini, we can get in our own way and trip ourselves up. Our subconscious spirit message is breathe. Don't forget to breathe. Don't forget to embrace your voice, to breathe, to slow it down, to just be. We don't always have to be working towards something, achieving something, breaking down certain barriers. Just breathing and being and connecting with this world is an astounding thing. It moves us then to our subconscious chakra message, which is the heart chakra and forgiveness. If you've been here before, you know it, that I always say the forgiveness is not just for everybody else. It's a big thing to forgive others, but it's even bigger thing to forgive ourselves. And here with the heart chakra, we're having blockages around forgiveness, blockage in the heart chakra. And this is going to be a time where, we just need to pay a little bit of attention to our heart. We don't have to be so stinking logical about it, because we're going to apologize and be like, well, this isn't logical. It doesn't make all the sense. And yet I'm feeling this and it's so stupid. It's not stupid. We're ruled by the heart. We're ruled by the heart. We're the lovers, gosh darn it. The heart comes in more often than we want it to. We're the lovers, and then we're ruled by the swords. In the minor arcana, it's like, okay, logic and love, they always go together, right? That's like Romeo and Juliet is super logical if you read it. With the heart chakra, it's releasing blockages around your heart, around love, around forgiveness, around hope around what makes the heart. And here, it's not forgiving everybody else, that will come, but it's forgiving ourselves, for not being exactly what we had imagined we would be, exactly when we imagined it. And it's forgiving ourselves for going through hard times, devastating times, overwhelming times, and maybe not handling it the way that we think now, looking back at it, that we should have. But we're in the midst of the stickiness, the nastiness of life. You're not always going to do the best. And that's okay. That's part of living. That's why we're here, to live and to learn. Our subconscious energy to be mindful of is the Two of Wands. Be mindful of certain doors opening that, it's just not going to be right. It's like meeting a person and they have really hard eyes. And it's like, or there's just something off about them. And you're like, oh, I'm just going to ignore it because I'm just being overly dramatic. You're not. Doors are going to open, or ideas are going to open, or things are going to open. It's going to feel off. Listen to your gut instinct. That is going to be important. Our subconscious tarot message is Death reversed. Now, Death is actually one of the most positive cards in the whole entire tarot. With it reversed, we're fearing, we're doubting, we're feeling overwhelmed. We're looking at things and saying, but I don't want to transform. I don't want things to change in my life right now. And that's understandable, most definitely. But it's going to happen anyway. We are going to go through this transformation because we have the High Priestess here. The veil is being lifted from our eyes. We're taking that path. But this is also Scorpio energy. We're just afraid. We're afraid to see deeper behind the veil, to connect more with our spiritual, esoteric self. And that's okay. But just being aware of it is going to be very important. All right. All right, Gemini. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this time and of ourselves. And please note that this meditation and healing will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Gemini. May blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. God bless. Bye.